Good morning, gentlemen, ladies. So I'm going to show you this this house that we taped. It took 5.5 days, and we're on day 6. I ran this already by hand because it takes some time. I mean, it took me just a couple hours to go through this. There's 2 buckets of mud up there, but that's 11.5 feet. I did not do it on a scalpel. I did it on stilts. And what we're going to do today is show you guys a boxing video. Now, in this house, there's probably 75 sticks of corner bead. There's 250 feet of no coat. And I showed you guys the bazooka video to tape it out. You tape your flats and your butt joints first, then your flats, and then you do your angles. Now you see they're all glazed. Now, the thing I like about that North Star glazier is it coats those angles full. So what I'll do is, you see that little mark right there? Before I run my mud shot, I'll come down with a little sanding block and just dust over them a little bit, get any goobers off of them, and make sure they go. Now, this is a boxing video, and I've already started. I ran that joint. This is a real bad joint, okay? Now, what I wanted to show you was a flats and butts together, so I did it on this really big shiny wall. Now, I'm gonna give the phone back to Tyler here, and we're gonna run this joint again. Now, I ran it once. It's a little hollow. I'm gonna show you the adjustments on the box here. So, you have a 0, and then you have 1 through 5. Now, that's a 1. I run the tape techs on a 1. I have North Star boxes. I run them on a 2 on the bed coat. They leave a little bit more mud. They've got a big crown in the bar here. Now, if you want to adjust your blade, you have to hear this. Listen. You just want to hear, you want that blade sticking a little bit over what they call the shoe. This is the shoe. Now, these things wear out, okay? Maybe 10, 12 houses, or if you're in commercial work, you're talking maybe 2 big-ass buildings. But these will wear. And you always want to hear your fingernail do this. This way the box doesn't leave edges. Now I'm going to throw it up here on this flat again one more time just to fill it, because this was a deep flat. I'm not quite sure why it was so deep, but you see? Now I can leave it like that, okay? And I'm gonna check it to show you guys. This is an old tool, but you just want a fine line there. See, that's all you want. And if you've got it right, then what I do, I like to clean these out, these angles. I like to fill them actually, so that when I run my mud shot, they're full. And all I'm gonna do is lay my knife down. They have wipe down blades, Tape Tech has them, and so does Level 5. And you can just wipe it down like this. Now, I'm not trying to take any mud off. A little bit, you see, not much. But when I check it again, I just want that fine line there. This mud's gonna shrink a little bit, okay? There's deep spots. Now, boxing goes fast. I'm gonna set it up here, because what I'm really trying to do is show you a flat and a butt joint together. I might not make it. If I don't make it, I just go fill it up again. Now, bigger jobs, people have pneumatic tools where they actually have a hose hooked and they can put 5, 10, 20 gallons of water of mud into a thing, and there's it's a continuous flow system. But all I do is stick the nozzle in there, I pump it 3, 4 times. You'll see it start bulging out here about the 4th pump. See? I stop it, I go like that. Now, you see I put a bucket here so I don't make too much of a mess. Now over here, we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna run the rest of this flat. I'll probably start over. I'm not gonna start where I left off at. And as you saw the mud drip down there, I didn't throw it up there that fast. But that's what I want. Now, for the butt joint, I'm gonna take this and run it wide open. Now another thing I do is I check the butt joint. If they don't have buttboard, I got fortunate enough, we're using buttboard. So what I'll do is, after this, I'm gonna try to find a butt joint that's a little shaky. So I actually set this on a 1, and I'm gonna run it right down the middle, okay? Now, that's all I'm doing there. Now I run these together, even on the ceiling. I run my flats, and then I come across my butt joints. Now, I'm just gonna blend this in. You see? I'll wipe this, clean it up a little bit because it has a little leakage. This is what I was telling you about when the mud's thin. Now I mix it a little thin because one, when I'm not videoing, I really move. And what I'm doing is all I'm doing is trying to get a little bit of the air out. You're gonna have some air like this. This is pretty bad air. Now a lot of guys use soap in their mud. I'm not using the soap. One, it adjusts the formula. Most of these guys put detergents in the mud. Now you see this butt joint? This butt joint is almost perfectly flat. I mean, there's nothing to it. You see, now when I put another coat on it, it's perfectly flat. Now that's buttboard for you. Now I'll wipe this one more time here real quick, just to get this a little cleaned up here around that butt. And that's pretty much it. Let's go find a butt joint that's got a little bit of a hump so I can show you. Come on. I got fortunate enough. They seem to have used buttboard in the whole house. Not here. Let's see this one. You hear it? That's a rocking butt joint. So here's what I'll do. Let's go right here. I'm gonna go get the box. I'll be right back. Now look, I'll flip this on 0. I want it wide open. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna hold my brake. You got your brake here. Okay, this is a North Star extendable handle, so I can actually run 10 foot off the floor if I want. But for this purpose, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pull it right up the center of the butt joint. And what I want is I actually want the edge of the blade on that center. You can see the high point. And you want that blade to hit that high point. And you do the same thing on the other side. Okay? Now, I'm gonna wipe it. Hang on, I'm just gonna lay this right here. Now I'm gonna wipe this down, and all I'm doing, I'm leaving the mud. I do not want to remove the mud off this butt joint. Okay? Now tomorrow, when I come back to this, I'm gonna be able to check it like this. Now when I check it, it's gonna probably be hollow in the center a little bit. Now, if I wanted to rebox them, I could rebox them. I prefer just to run them by hand when I'm running corner beads. So I'll be running my corner beads, I'll come through and I'll center these butt joints. And it's a big deal because it saves a ton of time. Hand finishing butt joints does take time. Now I'm gonna run this one here. And this is how fast you can go with it when you're really good with it. You're gonna pump it up. I'll probably push 6, 7 boxes of mud on this house today. It's I'm gonna do it again one more time. And I'm not pushing hard this time. Now I'll run my butt joints with that. Then I'll wipe it down. Now, typically I probably run the whole room before I wipe anything down. But for video purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little wipe. And I wanna leave the mud on the butt joint. This mud will shrink a little bit, like I said. Not much. Now see, that's pretty much it. Now when I come back tomorrow, when I'm centering butt joints that aren't hollow, or that aren't using buttboard, I mean the buttboard's nice. There's not much mud to fill in these things at all. And we use them because it saves time. I mean there's 500 sheets in this house. So, you know, that saves a lot of time. But for the intro to boxing, I'll even run the top butt joint there real quick. I think I can stretch up there again. I'll put it, I lock my blade, and then I pull down. Now you can see it's pretty deep. And then I'll stop it right at the flat. Now, I don't like to sand between coats. Some guys do. So my system on this is I'm gonna run all the flats and butts today. Give me a second, this is a stretch. This is 9 foot. Now, I'll run all the flats and butts in this house today. And from there, what I'll do is, I'll run my corner beads. I'll go through and run all my corner beads and all my no coats. Then the house is completely set up. I can come through the following day and run all of my mud shot on my angles. It's very fast. By that time, I'll have dusted all the angles off with a sanding sponge so that they're smooth and I don't have to worry about picking up things when I'm running it's a lot of people use the hockey box, which is the angle box. I use a mud shot, it's fast, you just go. And if you don't have goobers in your angles, it saves a lot of drag marks, a lot of time. Now let me mix up, I've already mixed this bucket of mud, but I'm gonna show you guys the consistency of what I'm putting in the box, okay? I don't like it too thin. The newer guys, you know, you mix it up thin and real thin, and you've got problems because it's gonna spill out of your box like you saw. You know, my mud's a little bit thin, but not too much. It spilled out over there by the fireplace in the first flat I ran. Now, this is what we're after. And typically, if I can get a little bit of air in there, I like to see that. Just 1 or 2 little bubbles come out after I'm done mixing. Now, that's good box mud. So again, I'm gonna go through, run all my sidewalls now. And then when I get up on stilts, I'm able to pull down my butt joints into my flats. It's the best system that I've come up with for boxing. Hopefully we can get this house boxed out by the end of the day. It's a big one. It's probably gonna take 6, 7 buckets of mud just to run flats and butts. And you know, I'll be boxing. Tyler, you spouting screws. There's a lot of screws in here. And you guys have a good day.